My name is Travis Tsales, and I'm passionate about landscapes, trees, irrigation, and I want you to be passionate too. And if we're gonna maintain our yards, let's maintain them properly so that it's a win-win situation for you and your landscape. Today we're going to talk about proper irrigation maintenance. As you can see, I've got our sprinkler system running here at our City Hall, and I've got a couple of issues right here that you can see. One, as you can see, this head is not popping up above the turf, and this causes a distortion in the spray pattern, and the water is not getting to where it needs to. Secondly, you can see this head has got a lean to the left. So what's happening is this is a 15-foot radius nozzle, but because it's leaning, the left side is probably only spraying 10 to 12 feet and hitting the ground, whereas the right side is spraying higher up in the air and is affected by wind. This is a problem also. This will cause inadequate coverage and you won't get good coverage in the yard. Next, you can see this is another issue that you'll find. This is called a clogged or a distorted nozzle. You can tell the center of the spray pattern is missing. You have a lot of water coming out to your right and a lot of water to the left, but the water in the middle is missing. This also provides very inadequate coverage, so you're not getting water where it needs to go. This is what we're looking for. This is a perfectly installed head. As you can see, we've got plenty of clearance above the grass. We have a nice consistent spray pattern. The riser is plumb to the ground. It's not leaning, and we're getting great coverage. So this head is doing what it's supposed to do. It's covering 15 foot in each direction and 15 foot out in front of it without any distortion of any kind. So this is how you want all your heads to look, so that when you're watering, you're getting the water to the plant and not having dry spots and water going where it shouldn't be going. Okay, now I've showed you 3 or 4 issues that we have with the heads that are functioning, but they're not functioning properly. They're not putting the water where it needs to be. So now I'm going to talk about what we would call broken heads. First of all, the typical homeowner is going to see that right there when they walk out into the yard. That is a head that is not functioning right now, and that's what they generally see. Now, most of our sprinkler systems water at night, so we never really see any of this. This is why inspections are so important. You should go out at least once a week, turn your sprinkler system on for 1 to 2 minutes a station, walk around, make sure the nozzles are spraying the plant material and not the concrete, make sure they're not clogged, and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And at least once a year, you should have a licensed irrigator through the state of Texas come out and perform a thorough inspection on your system. State law requires that an individual be licensed to do this work, so you can always ask to see their state license when they come out to do the work. So basically, the homeowner sees what we talked about. This is what's actually under the ground. You're seeing this part, this is all below the ground. There's basically 3 areas of failure if you go out and turn your sprinkler on and there's water shooting straight up in the air. One can be the head has actually popped off and you just have this, so the water is dispersing straight up into the air. An easy repair, new head. You may have to replace this riser. That can be cut to length to where your head will be at the proper grade, and you basically just screw a new head on, and then you make sure it's orientated properly. Secondly, you may have a nozzle that has popped off. A missing nozzle will produce the same effect. If the nozzle's missing when it's running, it's going to shoot a stream of water 30 to 40 feet in the air. So this is the nozzle. There's many varieties of it. That's a full circle. That is a half circle. And you basically just buy these and they thread directly on the top of the head. So that would be another simple repair. The final repair would be this white part, which is your actual lines. And generally I would recommend you get a professional out to repair anything that may be broken as far as the actual pipe. As far as clogged nozzles, like we were showing at the beginning of this episode, to clean a clogged nozzle, it's very easy. You just pop up the riser, you unscrew the nozzle, and you look for debris in the flow ports, and you look for debris within the slit where the water comes out. You clean it out, being very careful not to distort the plastic orifice, or you will affect the way the head sprays. Once you get that clean, you put the nozzle back on, and you're ready to go. One thing, especially over the winter months and when you haven't run your sprinkler system, full circle nozzles are notorious for a tiny little snell that will develop within this circle here, and when you turn on your system, water will be spraying in all different directions. If you'll turn that off and take the tip of a pocket knife and just break the shell up, turn it back on, it'll all flow out and the head will start functioning properly again. Again, I cannot stress enough how important it is for all of us to water responsibly. Make sure your sprinkler system is functioning the way it should be. It's putting water on the grass, on your shrubs, not going into the street. That you have proper watering times, because water is going to be an issue in the state of Texas for years and years to come, and it's up to all of us to ensure that we have water for our children and their children, and that's only going to happen with responsible irrigation operation. I really enjoyed sharing these tips with you today to have your landscape be as best it can be. If you need further information or further details on this episode, please contact me at 972-216-8121. I look forward to talking to you.